Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you. Can Bitcoin hold 95,000? Looks like it's struggling. May go lower. Let's see what happens today. Head and shoulder right now on the 1 hour time frame. Descending triangle. Target looks like 93.8. I'll see you soon. Wow, the volatility today, insane, right? 91 all the way back, 95.1 all the way back to 95. People panic sold just then. They got them all, the panic sell. They made the descending triangle look like it's going to break down. Maybe it does. I'm sitting on my hands right now just watching the fun, man. It's so fun when you're not trading and you're watching people getting, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that, but when you're watching the market go up and down and you're not a part of it, especially on a low volume Friday, man, it's kind of a nice feeling. Shout out to everybody here. Let's put some lemon in the water. I got myself a nice big glass of water, or jug of water here. Mountain Valley spring water is the best stuff on earth, man. Little segue. I found out about this water. You know, Roddy Dangerfield made a deal with it. He had it on all of his, every time he was on set, you know, or, you know, did a show, he had a bottle with him. And, you know, I found out about this about, I'd say it was 15, 16 years ago. I was researching all sorts of stuff about Arkansas, and I found out that this is where they have it in the Ozarks. Ozarks is one of the most special places in the whole world, especially here in America. Research the Ozarks. It'll blow your mind. It's where you want to be in case of tsunami, earthquake, all that. It's like the safest place on earth. I know you don't believe me, but I'm telling you, it's in the Ozarks. And, yeah, anyway, this comes from Arkansas, the Wichita Mountains, right? And this has been going on since, what, 1890, 1871? In a remote valley of the Wichita Mountains. Washita Mountains is how you say it. But, yeah, and so I've been drinking this water for about 20 years when I could afford it. It's a little more expensive. It's the best, though. It really is. And there's a reason for it. It's not just a flex. It's a really good water, I'm telling you. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Let's get the lemon in the water, decalcify that pineal, get ourselves on another level, get ourselves moving, feeling free, feeling good, feeling like we're on another level, right? And that's how I feel every single day when I'm on this channel with each and every one of you. May God bless the crypto lifers, everybody that puts their best foot forward. Shout out to Sean with the confirmations. I love you, Sean. You're my buddy, man. I have a personal assistant. His name is Sean. If I ask him to do anything, he says, "How high, Sam? When can I get it done for you?" He says, "I am at your service, Sam, and whatever you need, you just let me know." And I say, "Man, thank you, man." And I tell you what, that's a privilege and an honor to have someone in your life like that. I worked really hard to get ourselves into position, but man, without my staff and people behind me to help me, there's no way I could bring you the energy, the updates, the information. He does the timestamps at the end of everyone. Sean, man. Sean, today's your day, man. Never misses a stream. Like 1 or 2 times in 5 years, he's asked me if he was like, "Oh, I need an hour, or I might not be here this afternoon." In like 4 years, he's taken a day and a half off or something, man. And I don't even know if he got it done beforehand. He just said, "Hey, I won't be around at the time." The guy's unbelievable. He's as consistent as me. He's my buddy. He's my partner in business. Sean, we love you, man. We thank you so much. Today's your day, buddy, all right? Thank you for everything you do, all right? I want everyone to know your name. I want everyone to know that you're the best, kid. Or man. You're a man, dude. You're not a kid anymore. But, and I respect and love you, brother. I really do. I love all my employees. They've helped me create something amazing. I have so much admiration for them because they've stuck with me for years now. So, thank you, Sean. 5 years in running, Sean, right? I think it's been a long time, man. I can't believe it. Anyway, Bitcoin's in a descending triangle, but does it pull off the amazing and punch out? Or does this, like 90% of the time, break down to the target at 92.8? Do we have a deep dump coming? Are we coming back to this exact resistance to retest? Or do we get held up here by 94.5 beforehand? You know, there's a bunch of different questions going on. Bitcoin just almost lost the level, then ripped back to the upside. It is just it's getting tight inside the zone here, and a big move is coming for Bitcoin soon. In the next 1 to 2 hours, it's going to have to break out or down from this wedge here that it's in. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's only a matter of time. We had the double bottom last night. I was looking for that to break out, but somehow could not get back above resistance at 95,800. So now you have to look at 95.8 as the point of resistance. And, you know, so the smart thing to do is, like, don't open along unless you get above 95.8. Then you would retest or make a flag on the 21. That's a good trade and take this back up probably to, you know, Maybe you sell a partial at 96.8 and try to get all the way back to 97.82. You know what I mean? So to me, it's the most likely area we're looking for if you get above 95.8. But to me, you know what I mean? And you have this look, a POC, which we're right below now, which means you could come here and test this low volume node right here. So, and here. So you've got liquidity waiting for you, 94,000, 93,005. And there's the dump right there. As we speak, there it goes. Bitcoin continuing to collapse here right now. And so as I spoke about it, it had to happen. I knew a move was coming here for Bitcoin. They are draining it. This is it, folks. To the downside, massive dump easies. All right. And it looked, again, this breaks down 90% of the time. If you're in my trading group since 8 in the morning and I did my update even before that, I showed you the descending triangle. I said, hey, I just got to let you know these are bearish, right? We're going to do what we got to do, but, you know, at 8, 10 a.m., it looks somewhat bearish. Did they wick this back up and rip us? Could this be just a low touch? We still see some liquidity here. I mean, it's a sketchy day to trade. I give it like a 4.5 on how well, you know, I'm going to start doing this. This is interesting. I do TA, all right? So here's technical analysis, right? Up here he goes. But here's TA, right? And then, you know, we interpret what the TA does, and some days it's like boom, boom, above, you know, oh, it's like what I'm looking for. Other days it's like, oh man, it could be 5 or 6, 7 different ways. I'm not sure. And you know, today I gave it like a 6 or a 7 because this mainly breaks to the downside. So what's supposed to happen is this is supposed to dump. If this dumps, then, you know, the reading was correct. Like Bitcoin was in a descending triangle, just like an ascending triangle. But these ascending triangles are 50-50, but they tend to more break up, right? Because they kind of have the momentum to the upside. The descending triangle is the same way. They tend to break down because they tend to have the momentum to the downside. So it's you know what I mean? So it's funny. Everyone's like, oh, you know, the TA was really good today, actually. I should give it a 7 or an 8. Almost a 9 because it's been, right now it's spot on. If it continues to dump, that's exactly what you're looking for, right? So, you know, 38 minutes, incoming demand, shock, and multiplier effect. Crypto market preparing. Interesting. I don't like to read news like that and get too hyped about it, so I tend to stay away because the markets are going to show me what they're going to do regardless of the news. So, anyway, and make sure you stay hydrated throughout the day. Most important thing you can do. And put some, you know, you want to actually have electrolytes. I believe it's good to have a little salt in there too. Because if you drink too much water, what you do is dilute yourself too as well. Remember that. I like to eat my water. Get it from cantaloupe. Get it from other sources, right? Pineapple. Eat an apple. Bananas. Get your water from the fruit. Eat your water, man. You know? My buddy Mario, man. God bless you, Mario. And Mindy. We love you guys. Yeah, so that's kind of the idea there, right? You eat your fruit, okay? Also, what I'm seeing here is a head and shoulder pattern, right? Shoulder, head, right shoulder, two combined bearish patterns. Is this going to entice people to buy? This is interesting. Or do we continue to fall to the target? This should fall to the target. That's what should be happening. When you see this and you see the right shoulder get made with the wicks, the entry could be here with the stop above the wick at 95, 800. 95.8 would be the stop. And you look to get to 92.8. Is this going to happen for sure? Low volume Friday, we may get no follow through. I wouldn't be surprised if we chop back up and just sit here and we end up here at the end of the day doing absolutely nothing because the volume is very low. You're not likely to get the move you're looking for every single time. It's just how it is. And, you know, remember, Fridays are the worst days to trade of the week, usually. You know what I mean? At least Monday has false move, but it has volume, and you can kind of get it. At least you can. I don't like it because I personally I like it when it's a very low risk. I like when the chart looks pretty simple to read, and I like when the market goes the way the chart's going to go. I can tell when that's likely based on my years of doing this. So I even have another initial idea or kind of signal in my mind. My mind goes, okay, think about it. If your brain is hyper analytic like mine and basically I'm hyper, I'm hyper, man. I'm over hyper. You can see it. whatever you want to call it. Like, I have an energy most people don't have. A lot of people can't talk for 2 hours straight every single day, constantly, flip through their mind impulsively, think about all these different ideas, and teach and talk, have fun and entertain all at the same time. It's a bit absurd. It's a gift. It's a blessing, but it's also a curse if I couldn't use it right? I was used to sit with this energy. Anyway, you guys have heard enough about it. Let's get back into the TA. My whole point is my brain is hyper analytic. It's always reanalyzing and flipping. And it does, your subconscious mind will do this while you sleep too. And as you feed your mind these abilities to have a habitual ability, like feed it. And you work out too, you get good blood flowing. Blood flow helps your mind think quicker. Think about it. You're an engine, you're a machine. Give it what you need. Point of the story is you start over, and you've been through the market as long as I have. So you have a brain that's hyper analytic. It goes through the mark, and all of us can get to there if we push our minds to be better. Just like you can push your heart and your body. Some people are fat. You can have a fat brain. You might consider yourself slow. But if you start using your mind a lot, it's going to speed up. You're going to create what's called neural plasticity. You can change the pathways of your thought process. That's how people get out of their programming. Oh, I used to think I should be, I grew up middle class, thought I would never become a multimillionaire, thought, at the beginning, there was times when I did, but then there was times I got dulled back down into the brainwash I lived in. Oh, this isn't for me. What was I thinking? These are just ideas, that I'm having, but they're not reality. I gotta base myself in reality. Like, unless I hit the lottery, I'm never probably gonna have 10 million in my bank or own anything more. Like, I'm never gonna be really that rich. Maybe I'll have $1 million or $2 million when I die. I started believing stuff like that because that's who I was around every day. I was around post worker, and no offense, I'm not putting people down. I just want to say this. I was around people that, decided from the age of 34 to 65, they were going to make, between 60 and 120 grand a year. And even let's say 250, whatever, and they were just going to slowly pay off their mortgages in 30 years and 15 years, and they were going to live like everybody else. I grew up and I knew I wasn't like everybody else. And I said, why should I live like everybody else? I looked at homes that were square. I said, why can't I live in like a diamond-shaped house? Or a house that's like got 3 circles, and like, why does a house have to look anything like another person's house? Like, can I watch a sci-fi movie and make my house look like a flying saucer or something? You know what I mean? Like, why do I have to live in a house like everyone else? Like, why does it have to look like that? I always envision things like, why do we have to follow the rules? Like, why can't we just do what we want? And I never understood why everybody did the same thing. That was crazy to me. So when everyone thought I was crazy, I thought everyone else was crazy. Some men dream of things that are and say why. I dream of things that never were and say why not. George Bernard Shaw. I think I get that wrong every time I say it, but I believe I'm right with it. Anyway, so Bitcoin looks like it's going to struggle further to the downside. We're going to get back to this in a second. I just want to do my top-down analysis and break it down for you while I give you daily philosophies, life lessons, and funny quirks about who I am and what I do. If that makes you entertained and want to come back, then keep coming. Hit the like button. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for jumping on in and just being absolutely amazing. You're a good person to be here. I appreciate it. You're supporting me and my journey, so you get credits right there. You know what I mean? You've already tipped the waitress. Hey, I'm not a waitress. What are you talking about over there? I'm going to take a shot of ginger in front of you because, hey, that's what friends do. All right? Ginger super shot. This is going to be a nice... Chirpow. That felt good. That felt nice. Oof. That was a kickin'. Incoming demand shock and multiplier effect. Crypto markets prepare for strong momentum, says Sigum Sao Fabian Dori. In an interview with Crypto News, someone that said something about something is telling you the market's going to do something. Let's go back to the chats, huh? But, this says institutions are moving in. Big money is flowing into Bitcoin. ETFs are being opened all over the place. Big bank, Sigmund Bank, all right? Fabian Dory, Sigmund Chief Information Officer, on stage at this year's Finance Workscraft Forum in Zurich, has delivered a painful correction and sentiment reset, but the medium-term drivers of this cycle, liquidity and on-chain and regulation. I don't know, yeah, it's like, what? Stablecoins are not a threat to national securities? No way, of course not. Anyway, it seems like a long-winded article that wanted to just kind of probably give this company some, signum. at the end of the day, right? Say something about Bitcoin, and then we'll talk about you, and then, that's how it works, right? It's crazy. So Bitcoin, shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? Took the exact signal, dumping to the downside. Looks like it's going to head now to 92.8. Once you break this level or you close a candle below, the 1 hour starts to pierce that veil, which it already did. Now you got yourself a move to the downside here. So I'm just, if you're in the Discord and you're hanging out with me, it's 8:10. You get an indication of what I'm saying is likely going to happen, right? And I don't mean to be rude, but I've just seen this stuff play out so many times in my life that I'm able to kind of see it beforehand. And if you can come to my channel, join my Discord, you might just get basically, a heads up as to what the market's going to do before it does it. I think that's why people love this channel. That's why people love me. That's why people come here every day. That's why I'm who I am. Many, many days, you're going to see what I'm putting out is what happens in the market, right? And I'm not trying to be boastful or rude. I'm just saying I work at it every single day. I do it without fail, and I've been out in these markets for a long, long time. Remember, moving averages, when they get tight, they like to pump up to the 200 moving average. 1 hour looks like it really wants to have a date with 92,750 there, in my humble opinion. Could be just like, a last resort. Let's take a look at Bookmap and see what's happening on the liquidity side for Bookmap. And you see Bookmap's got $94,000 kind of edging, right? It's saying, hey, we got a lot of liquidity there. Wow, 86K still down there too. So, and I kept saying, we're never out the water yet. Let's do our top-down analysis. Let's break it down. Wow, 94,777's flashed to the screen. And this is a level where we might bounce. You might see a bounce here just because there's previous support right here. Could Bitcoin put in like some type of, estranged double bottom here? There's a chance. There's a chance. And again, I bet you lost the 1 minute 200 moving average before this dump began. Right there, which is my signal for a short, just like it's a signal for the longs. And look, this is a bit of a double top, is it not? Looks to me as such, and now you kind of grinding lower on the 1 minute. Take a look at the 5 minute. Also, double top. Look, you had that's a cat ears. That's cat ears. So if you're watching the 5 minute, so not only did we have a signal on the 1 hour with the head and shoulder, the descending triangle, but you also had cat ears in the 5 minute time frame. Rejection of the 200 moving average. Understand how important the moving average is. Look how you start playing with the 200 and then you fade it. This coincides with the 1 hour getting, getting bearish momentum. So see how it all came together? And look, this is just the 1 hour down, right? It was all being messaged in the small time frames from the 1 minute through the 5 to the 15 to the 1 hour. You could have a good indication of what's happening if you understand technical analysis. How was I able to see this? I'm just a simple guy. Head and shoulders break down 68% of the time. That's a shoulder, that's a head, that's a right shoulder. That's quite obvious to me. Maybe it's, am I blind or so? I don't know, but it's very obvious to me that is a head and shoulder pattern. Okay? So, yes, it is what it is, right? That's actually the measured move of this head and shoulder, but you've now breached the next line of support here. This level, I believe, let's just kind of label it nicely. I might have deleted it or something, or it wasn't there. If you need to duplicate something, you hold control, and it should just duplicate it. Yeah, there you go. So 94.8 now was broken, and 94.8 was support right there. You can see we had bounced off it cleanly, and now we're going to disrespect it unless we can wick back above it sooner than later. 94.5 starting to have a tumble to the downside. And this thing is on the way, man, possibly to break 94,000. Okay? Which is pretty crazy. And there you go. There's the dump. And these descending triangles are the most reliable patterns I've ever seen. I probably would have shorted it. I just don't like the short Fridays too much anymore. This year, I decided to trade less. I just, as crazy as it sounds. But I'll still predict and tell you what's likely going to happen in the market every single time. I just don't feel like I don't feel obsessed with trading it like I used to. Maybe I'm getting old. Maybe I'm just, I believe I'm getting more mature, Low volume on Friday, you never know. They could rip this thing all the way right back to the upside. I don't trust Friday volume. It's usually not the best, right? But this is a good place to buy BTC and DCA in my humble opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, but everything, nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Do your own research, right? And have your own convictions and ideas, get an education. But for me, great place to dollar cost average into BTC at the 94,554 level. Just solid, right? So look, we could see where the market was going today based on the shapes. Shapes, these shapes have been used for years, and they tell you what's going to happen to price action. You don't have to be a genius. You actually have to be simple-minded. If you use your brain too much here, you're going to get caught up. It's about just, it's like you teach a dog to sit, he sits. You go, hey, sit, he sits. You see a head and shoulder, you sit. You know what I mean? You just do what it tells you to do. It tells you to short that market, you do it. You don't question it. You don't use your emotions. You don't go against your own, you don't use thoughts, and you just do it. All right? And that's it. And remember, usually after a dump, there's always some type of push. Look at this dump here. We come up, we dump. But look, we're about to hit the target there. My first target at $94,076 for Bitcoin. There's a little bit of resistance right there because we had a tweezer top there on the 1 hour time frame. We may hit that and get a little bounce, but so yeah, I pride myself on being as accurate as I can be, and I'm happy that we were able to be accurate for you guys, and may God bless you all. Appreciate each and every one of you for jumping on in and being absolutely amazing. Yeah. Wow, nice little dump easy here on Friday. If it was like a bigger time frame, a day with more volume, the dump might be a little more violent. But right now, it seems to be kind of somewhat subdued. But we'll see. It was a good move down. And again, technical analysis tells you what's likely going to happen. It's right there. It's right there. I see a little bit of a fair value gap here too, as you can see. If you're an ICT guy, and that gets you going and excited. I don't use ICT. I've looked at it like maybe 5 times in my life, and then like today I knew we were gonna dump. We dump. I don't know why I don't need it. I don't. But hey, if that's what you train your brain now, you've got to use it now. So you're stuck in it now if that's what you did. So that goes down to this area here, right? And so you can see they both coincide. There's even another gap right there. So and that's a lot of times it loads up somewhat close to liquidity or to a moving average, right? So you got some gappage here on BTC, right? Only time will tell how low we will go, but it does look like we're going to go lower. If you want to find out how low we go now, you start watching the smaller time frames. Why? Well, the smaller time frames are going to react first. They're going to start generating a move. And then they're going to push you further back to a key area, right? So like this could make a V-shaped recovery all the way right back up. This could be just a cash grab. We don't know, and it's Friday. Be very careful. What I do know is that, the cat ears did play out. That's exactly how cat ears plays out right there. And the rejection of the 200 moving average. Yeah, you're looking for a tweezer bottom and maybe a possible reversal back to the upside here. You can see just right there, see this little nub? There's a little bit of support there on the 5 at about 94.5. Chairman 94.5. Iranians turn to crypto as economic crisis and sanctions deepen. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to talk about a bunch of different things here geopolitically. Iran's crypto ecosystem nears 8 billion. As the footprint grows and Bitcoin withdrawals surge during protests. See, Iran's crypto ecosystem grew to more than 7.78 billion in 2025, with activity closely tracking major political flashpoints. And I said this, when you have geopolitical upheaval and when you have things that are causing massive upheaval and, just diasporas of people moving, just when things are getting shifted, you're going to see people need something that no one knows they have, which is digital currency. Understand? All you need to know is remember, you can remember, you could write a password down to your, some people, I know you're supposed to have it on a hardware wallet and all that, but some people just have it on an exchange. Like right now in Iran, you might have just opened up an exchange on Binance if you could or whatever, and you're just going with it now, right? See, look at this. If that closes as bullish, that could be a V-shaped recovery. This could be a bullish engulfing candle. Right back off that key area, right? Funny. So, you know, and you would put that inside of that, right? So that, hey, and I'm not saying that, you know, again, if we're bearish, what's going to happen is you'll see this. You'll see like we'll make a bear flag on the 5. The 21 will come kiss and we'll continue this down. It looks to me like this is what's likely going to happen. The bear flag on the 5-minute time frame. No, I don't mind. I like to show you the big time frame ideas, but I also like to give you kind of, you know, 5-minute predictions, 20-minute predictions throughout the show. And we kind of track price action together and we see how micro TA plays out in front of us. And we look at macro TA in the background. It's just a really an amazing juxtaposition of, because this is, the point is, I always want to show you how the macro and the micro are the same, how they're both basically connected, and how amazing you can learn from both of them. Like you can learn a bear flag on the 5 and then you could short a bear flag on the weekly. Now, again, one will happen once every 4 or 5 years and one will happen many, many times in a month or two. But that's, you know what I mean? So that it's just, but it's interesting the fact that you can extrapolate data from smaller time frames and learn how to trade bigger and vice versa. You can shrink, you can shrink and you can expand however you want to do it. If you have an expansive mind, like I believe I have, where you always want to progress, you're always thinking, you're always learning, you never want to stop. You're very hard on yourself. You want to keep pushing. And, you know, if you've got that vibe, that feeling, then, you know, TA's for you because it's going to always have your mind working. Always have your mind working. And you're going to be able to find probabilities, and very pleasing when you work really hard and you're able to see the market in a pleasing manner, right? Wow, looks like they're good at Drano though, for sure, right? Like it's going lower is the key here. I mean, that's what I'm seeing. 30-minute also doesn't look amazing. 1 hour took the dumpy. Bearish engulfing candle technically too, because eventually it just became the red wall, man. So Iranian turns to crypto as the crisis sanctions deepens. Yeah, so again, so there's a lot going on right now. The whole world is in a bit of a shift right now, and I think there's a lot of political unrest, geopolitical unrest. I'm going to write down as much as I can for it because it is affecting the markets, and I think we got to discuss some things. And so today we're going to get a little deeper than normal. So get on your tinfoil hats, get ready, get into the driver's seat here, but we're going to go a little deeper than your average TA guy goes here, and we're going to talk about the world. All right, and I'm going to give you some kind of maybe premonitions that I'm having that could or could not be true. And we're going to have some fun. Constantly exposing myself and my subconscious to these ideas always makes me a better judgment and better discipline to the model. Reprogramming my brain is fun, man. You're on your way, brother. Because once you can reprogram your brain and you could do anything with it. You know. Constantly exposing, exactly. I'm joining the 99 next week. How much do I need to have in my crypto account to be able to make $100 a day? In my humble opinion, $100 a day, I use between $500 and $1,000. No, you don't need any more than $1,200. Yeah. No. Yeah. But again, that depends on you too. Like, I don't know what's gonna, I should say let me rephrase all that. I'm gonna rephrase what I just said. So, because it's not exactly what I don't know your ability to learn. I don't know how fast you're going to understand the concepts, and I don't know how well you'll take risk management. So those things are into account. But I generally, with not too much difficulty, I can pull out between $500 and $1,000 using $1,200 to $2,000 a lot. So if you just want to make $100, I believe a $1,200 account is sufficient. And again, when I had a $1,200, you don't use it all. Sometimes you're using $400, $500, $600. Maybe you never use it all, but it's always there, And I trade isolated. I wouldn't trade cross with the $1,200, but you're going to do whatever makes you happy. I'm going to tell you what I do. You're going to find education, and then we're going to meet in the middle, and we're going to find out, how you do. But most people do really well. Even this week, a lot of people joined for the year, and they said, hey, I made it in the group. So I was like, oh, my third or fourth trade, I made $1,800. I joined for the month. He said, so I decided, they write me emails. They said, I decided to join for the year. Thank you so much, man. Or my wife will point it out, at the end of the week. She'll say, hey, you see these two people? I just had to tell you, you're doing great. They made so much money, they joined the group. And they're really happy. So she always wants to let me know on the back end what's happening. You know what I mean? Just to kind of, hey, because it's a struggle every day out here. And it's good to see that people are gaining. And I want to make sure everyone's using my education to gain. And you're not over gambling, playing around, and turning this into a casino. You're making it a game of probability with proper risk management. And, you're assessing every single trade, realizing what you're doing, and enjoying it too. Enjoying the way the math works, enjoying the way everything clicks, enjoying the way it all comes together. And if you could do that, that's the beautiful key, right? So, yeah. So yeah, I see lower, man. It's this does look like we going lower. Even the 1 minute now. Let's take a look at what's happening here on the 1 minute. 1 minute will show you too what it wants. A little bit of bull div there. And here we are back testing 94,000, man. Dang. Wanted us to stay at 95 and really hang, but you never know. This, Let me, I got to jump on out and do my top-down analysis now with you guys. I'm not going anywhere, but we're going to get out of the small time frames. So you know what's happening right now. You kind of have a good picture, and you can see where we're at, right? We're also in this channel, and you can see we just channeled, and I love what my mentor taught me. He said, you believe you're in a channel until you're not, right? So he basically says, you're always in the channel until you're not in the channel. I can end up wicking back in a little bit, but it's starting to break that trend line too. I see the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame really starting to get the eyeballs. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's move on and start really assessing the market here. That's a cup and handle, the 2 hour, 4 hour time frame. You can see kind of now you're testing previous resistance on the 4 hour. You see this? You're right here. Resistance. This is where we have the bulls really got to step in right now and start to buy. You got to see some buys here. If you lose this level, you can see how clearly you're falling down to 91.5. That's just the next high volume node. That's the next area of support or resistance. Again, if you're a TC, an ICT guy, you've got a fair value gap here too as well. There's liquidity there, guys. It is what it is, right? There's areas to fill. There's numbers that haven't been hit that people are going to hit. And now here's the absolute bloodbath. And I'm telling you, man, the descending triangle, I can't tell you how well it plays out. It was any other day of the week, man. And that thing is just absolutely collapsing to the downside now. That was a shoulder, head, right shoulder to me. Nasty, nasty. Send that thing to 94K now. Wow. So the 4 hours testing previous 4 hour resistance, it's right there. That's tweezer top. You're right there. You break that with disrespect. You're headed right to this fair value gap. Are you not? You tell me, but that doesn't look good. And if you look at it here, I see a head and shoulder there. So I believe everything was kind of telegraphed this morning. And I believe we were able to give it to you pretty straight. And remember, you don't have to trade everything. You don't have to trade the short just because it's happening. All right. You do any breathing exercise like Wim Hof? My friend puts me on him. Yeah, I found out Wim Hof a long time ago. But I thought I just work out, man. Yeah. And meditate. Told you Friday is always dump. Yesterday. Thank you, man. Every Friday there's a dump. Hey, it's always low volume. And if you've dumped if you've dumped for 2 days, we've been pumping since basically Monday. We pumped all week. So, hey, it makes sense. It makes sense. Previous resistance is support. We get the bounce. Sends us back up to $97,345. All right. And again, that's why we pay the trader, pay the trader. Not sure what happened with your big trade yesterday, but want to let you know, realist, you showed me, put over the top, we decided to join the group. I will be joining today. Hey, jump on in, man. Oh, that thing got, I had to end it with a bad loss. Yeah, it wasn't fun. But hey, it wasn't as bad as it was. Like, it could have been way worse. So it is what it is, man. Really kind of like, you always believe it could be the one too, you know? But that's why I'm telling you, man, I don't do well with these big time, I'm going to hold it for 5, 6, 7 days, 10 days straight things. I found that my strong points are just trading what I see in front of me, handling a couple 3, 4, 5 day trades. Like I got in on Sunday or Saturday last week, made $7,000 in a couple days, got out on Monday night and didn't overtrade throughout the week, you know? So you can see there's starting to be some hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame. It's kind of starting to come out to play. Again, it looks like we could have way more dumpage and it can be confirmed, but we could get all the way to like 93,000 here and then get a nice little bounce. Somewhat of an upturning cup and handle, and again, we're sitting right at this previous resistance. You would really think the 4-hour would put in some support here. Like, where are the bulls, man? They gotta fight this off. I mean, that's 4-hour resistance, that should become support right now. That should be a beautiful entry for BTC. It really should. So monthly has hidden bullish, looks good, right? 2-week chart. So we start fresh again, like we do every day. Wow, we did bounce so far. 94.4 is holding a key level, man. Right? Let's see this resistance here at 102,000. Let's see this resistance here at 71.6. So, like, it's still hidden bullish divergence. It still says we should be getting a bounce, right? Sam, it's ABC correction. Happens 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, sure. Old support from back in March. Yeah, I used to call it calisthenics. It sounds gay. I love calisthenics. Dude, what are the bulls? Go buy some BTC yourself then. I do. Every day, man. Yeah. Can you talk about how and why? Yeah, because it just, you know what I mean? It didn't go my way, man. Like, let's be honest. Like, I wanted the 1 hour to break out from the 200 move from the 21. I didn't expect us to turn into a descending triangle. Like today we were in a descending triangle, right? Price action lost key levels. I wanted us to stay above 96,000 really too, you know? Exactly. Looking at the long-term trend up line, Sol was smashing through, yeah. What are your thoughts on a supply squeeze at some point? I mean, I think it's only a matter of time. And it's due to all the different geopolitical events going on at one time that I believe will put a crunch on Bitcoin and will make it so it gets very close, you know? It would make sense to me with everything we're seeing you know, people need Bitcoin when you break down governments. People need Bitcoin when you threaten their freedom. People need Bitcoin when banks are, you know, denying stablecoin yield. Like people, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like everything points to BTC. People are uncertain, Bitcoin. You don't trust the banks, Bitcoin. You can't carry gold around, it's really heavy. You can't get to your vault in time. How are you going to get to it? Bitcoin. Let's be honest, gold and silver is a great store of value, but it's not realistic. You can't get to it when you need to, and you can't get out of Dodge with it when you have to. This is what I came up with. I'm telling you, I'm going to write a book about this and really stick on this point because it happened to me. I'm in Queens. I think gold and silver is the answer because Bitcoin didn't exist to me yet. I didn't know about it. But I know I can't be in fiat and I got to keep my money safe. So I buy as much gold and silver as I can and it ends up being just a pile of gold and silver. And then I say, dang, Armageddon happens. And I really thought about it. New York goes crazy. I have a motorcycle. I get my wife and baby on it. We all could fit on it. And I'm amazing. I'd get us to the tip of Long Island somehow. I'd get into a sailboat and I'd sail to where my parents live on, you know, off the coast of Massachusetts. And I'd live off deer and the land and the fish. And I'd survive, you know, until we got to a better place. And then I started thinking I'd need some food for the kids. I need extra pairs of socks. Like there'd be things I needed. And I looked at all the silver and realized it was just too big and too heavy and I wouldn't be able to carry it. Yeah. So I put myself through like a end world scenario, which maybe we never have to go through, but isn't that the point of gold and silver? Like to have, you know, why are you stacking wealth in case? In case what? Okay, so with that being said, I started realistically asking myself, wouldn't I need to carry things that were A, lighter, and B, were better to my survival? And I said yes. Like, you might want to carry bullets more than a bunch of silver. You might need them. My whole point was it didn't make sense. So you can have all the gold and silver you want. And I still think it's good to have a couple portions of it in case you never know EPM, EMB, electromagnetic pulse and EMP, or something maybe happens to a grid, or you never know. So yeah, I'm all for like a contingency plan. But realistically, in the future of finance and why people want to keep their money safe, you keep your money safe because you don't know what could happen. Agreed? Isn't that the point? You don't know. Why do people stack gold? Why do governments stack gold? Why do banks stack gold, right? Because why do when things get scary, does gold go up in value? When markets, because people are uncertain. They want certainty. Why is gold certain, right? Because it's true value, right? The point is the average human has a hard time, the average person has a hard time transporting large amounts of silver. Silver specifically, okay, gold's a lot lighter. You can definitely travel with thousands of dollars more of gold. So to me, gold was so I stopped buying silver. I was buying gold and silver. At one point, I realized that I wouldn't be able to carry it anyway. So I stopped buying silver. I realized it wasn't a good look. That was me. You might, you know what I mean? This is what happened to me. But so, yeah, realistically, are you going to flee with hundreds of pounds of silver? No, you're not going to be able to. It's not going to happen. Okay? You can borrow against your gold and silver to buy homes or other assets and never have to sell the asset, just like you can Bitcoin. That's why I like that idea. That's spot on. I'm with you on that. Everyone loves this. You can borrow off to buy homes. I love this idea. You can borrow off to buy homes. You still got to pay a VIG now. So you got a gold, right? And I get it. I see what you're saying, though. I disagree. I actually fully, because I got gold at $1,000. Now, what do? But then you have to go deposit the gold, don't you? Like, how do you borrow off your gold? You have to go say, hey, here it is. Or does the same company that holds the gold for you is willing to give you loans on it? Of course, because they want you to default on your gold so they can just take it from you again. I mean, it makes sense. But I get it. Say you bought 100 ounces of gold at $500. Let's just say, right? And now it's 5,000. You could go cash in right now and say, hey, I'm going to buy a home now and take that money, buy a house, and then the mortgage. The thing is, I love when people always say borrow against the asset, and it works, yeah. But for the home, like for me, it's only for cash flowing. Like borrow against the asset for cash for like your non-primary home. Because then what the point of the story, because that what I want, this is what I want, ideally. I want to borrow off the gold. Agreed? Yes, agreed. And then I want to put it into a cash flowing asset. And then I want that asset to make me, let's say, 80 to, 130 grand a year or whatever it could be. And I want that to cover the interest, because once you borrow off the gold, there's going to be interest on the loan. I don't know what that's going to be, but it's got to be lower than the money, than the percentage I'm making back on the cash flow, right? And if that covers it, and there's some left over for me to profit, that's great, because the cash flow asset that I got from the gold will eventually pay off the loan, and then I could do it again and again and again and again. And that's another way to create wealth. And that's how the rich do create wealth. They borrow off assets they already own. And because they own so many assets, the bank give them a lower interest rate than the average person. They get to beat because they're a lower risk. When you're a lower risk, so the richer you are, the lower you're going to pay in interest rates, depending. It depends on the person. There are probably some different caveats to that, because I don't know everything about that situation. But in general, okay, I design and manage over 50 high-end short-term rentals. That's amazing. I'd like to, wow, you're awesome, bro. Yeah. I don't understand what Bitcoin is doing. Nobody does. It's hanging around. Well, it came back to 4-hour support of resistance. We're going to talk about that in a second, and it really has to bounce off that 94.4 area. There's really no question. If it doesn't, there's a lower low coming, or for the day. I'm not talking about here. But so here, the monthly looks great. If the monthly close right now That would be a bullish monthly candle. It would be a bullish engulfing candle. I would be super, super psyched about it. So monthly looks good. We also have hidden bullish divergence on the monthly. You know, it's not like we're coming from a high, making a secondary high, and dumping into a bear market. We made multiple highs. We came back down. You know, but now there just seems to be some support for the RSI. It's also retesting its previous resistance. You see that? Even the RSI plays with support or resistance. The stochastics are getting low. The 2-week chart, like I said before, every single time this crossed. Okay, it had 2 crosses there. So we could get one of those. But this one's more solid. And this cross. But, you know, for most of the crosses, 4 out of 5 of them, I was like, what was it? You can see, like, here was the cross. What happened to Bitcoin? It had its massive move. And then this cross was a little late. It's funny. It just started bumping a little bit. There's the cross there, and the Bitcoin had a massive move. So 1 cross, 2 cross. This cross happened somewhere, yeah, right around there, massive move. And then here, too. So every time Bitcoin had a massive move, the 2-week stochastics RSI gave us the go-to. It was the yes. It was the one that said yes. And right now it says yes again. And does that mean it's for sure? I don't know, man. You know, I wish I could, but I'm buying, you know, a lot of Bitcoin in these areas. And I can't really do, you know, I don't know what else to tell you. Or everyone else is, you know, stacking their, and I still have Tether on the sidelines for altcoins too as well. I'm not all in, but I'm DCing back into BTC because these are, you know, this is a good area. I think the fear and greed should be lower today. It doesn't feel as high as 49 for some reason, but hey, that's what they're saying. But I see it somewhere here. But again, hey, I'll listen to this because when it was at 10 and 11, it was an amazing signal. That was a great buy for Bitcoin back there at 78,000, right? So look, I mean, we drew this out, starting to make a bit of a symmetrical triangle. Could go either way. I see him on a shoulder, head, almost right shoulder there, but... And here you go. I mean, this is crucial times now for Bitcoin. 93.5 could be hit. There is a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance? There is a chance. Yes. There is a chance. And so in the next 5 minutes, you're going to find out what Bitcoin's going to do. It's either going to start to bounce back and confirm that the 4-hour did hold support at 94.4, or it's going to break down and confirm that it didn't. And we're going to see some lower low. So we're about to know in 10 minutes. I'm telling you right now, it looks likely that Bitcoin's going to tell us what it's going to do, baby. The 1 minute is pretty good at telling us exactly what's on its mind pretty fast. We just got to corner it, center it, and say, hey, you tell us what you see over here. So we'll see what happens. This could be an epic bounce for Bitcoin off of support on the 4-hour time frame. It did bounce off 4-hour support at 94.4. So far, it hasn't confirmed a candle close. It hasn't confirmed the bounce off support, but it has made the bounce. And now here we are. So we just took you from the monthly all the way through until, you know, the smaller time frames. Now, let's go through kind of solidly here. So this looks good. The 2-week chart has a really, you know, it has a bigger idea here. Now, the 5-day, that doesn't look good at all. And the 21 can be a resistance point. Let's see the last time we tapped it. Like right here, we got above it. But so this looks very similar how the 5-day, this looks similar to the last bear run, right? Well, you made this consolidated flag on the 5, which turned into more downside. Back to the 5-day 200 moving average. I mean, this could be a move right back down. This just could be a bear flag. Yesterday and earlier today, I said, I don't know, though. It's like it's outside. Even this, so we could say, hey, it's outside. But if it goes back inside, it's legit. And that's a trap. That's a bull trap. So this thing could enter back here by the bottom at 88,000 for sure. No guarantees at all. And I don't want people to be overly bullish. I keep saying this. You know I keep talking about the hidden bullish on the monthly, and I know I show signs, but I don't want you to get overly bullish or overly bearish. Just wanted to trade this market the way we see it. If the 5-day candle closes a red candle, I mean, that's going to be bearish. Same thing seems to be happening on the 3-day chart. And then here we are on the daily time frame. So the daily to me could also be forming something like, like this now. Almost like a rising wedge that could break to the downside. Every day, new information emerges through the charts, right? Every time you look at it, something else is going to come into play. This is also daily support or resistance right there at 93,009, 94,000. You really would have, you really see how that must hold. You break that, I mean, you get tight, and then yikes. And what I also see is it could end up making one of these like a shoulder, could make like a head and shoulder like this. So today flips a little bearish for Bitcoin. Despite the big pump we had, I'm getting mixed signals. The good sign is we're above the previous resistance as support. That's got to hold tonight. So if you're looking for bullish signs, you're looking for the daily candle to close above 94,000. It's like crucial time. You cannot close a daily candle below 94. That's not going to be a good look. That means you lost all this resistance that you just made and you're back in the doghouse. So it didn't matter that you broke above it. You got to hold support once you break above it. You got to confirm that it's solid. This is me, all we were doing, and everyone's going to say, you were scared. No, you were scared. No, you were scared. No, you were scared. But that's, we'll find out, won't we? 12 hour on the 22, rejection of the 200 moving average. Just what happens back to the 21. I'd love to just see this make a bull flag back to the 21, not break that support, and get us on out of here to the upside. We can get the explosion back to about 102.5, right? Let's go to the 8 hour. Some signs of life there. We need tweezer bottoms though. Oh, and we got to get them. And same here. The 4 hours got to close a green candle now. It's got to close a green candle. This, you got 3 hours, and we got that 4 hour candle just closed. So we'll see. There's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance? There's always a chance. I'm always open-minded for the bulls, baby. But I'm a realist too, and I know that, hey, what if 8 hours from now we're bouncing out of this back up here? Hey, anything is possible, folks. Keep the faith, believe in it. Never stop believing. Never stop believing, like never. And there's always a bounce. Usually, even if this is going to dump, it probably will bounce at least a little bit back to 95.2 or something. So far, the 4 hours attempting to say no way, and there's some hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour time frame. What is hidden bullish? Well, you have an uptrend in price action with a downtrend in the RSI. Tells me you'll break this high before you break this low down here. Again, only time will tell. That's the same thing I'm showing you on the monthly, but on a smaller scale here on the 4 hour time frame. $94,800 Bitcoin with the pump. Now we could look for possible scalpalinos, right? Are there some scalps coming our way that look toasty and tasty? Let's take a look here. So I'm going to look at the 1 minute time frame on weeks. It did the inverted head and shoulder. We started to break out of this pattern. So again, you don't have to trade today. This is fascinating stuff, isn't it? We look at the 4 hour. We found support or resistance. We zoom into the 1 minute. We find the symmetrical triangle. We see price action has a bit of a cup and handle there. You see the cup and handy? The savvy cup and handy to the upside. There's your cup there, little handle there. There's even like a bigger cup and a bigger handle there. Sammy cup and handy tells you get to 95K again. Unreal, man. This market is one of the most insane markets I've ever seen. So interesting, so intricate, so many things to learn every day. I'm fascinated by it, honestly. I've turned, I used to sometimes be frustrated. I turned frustration into fascination. Why not? Because being frustrated isn't how I want to be ever, right? I always want to be in a good spot mentally. I want to be prepared. I want to feel good about my life. So Sammy no pants and handy to the downside over here. Hey, get out of here. Hey, get that guy out of here. Sammy Pants, bro. They called him Sammy Pants because he wore pants. That's what he did. That's what the guy did. Hey, let me tell you something, kid, huh? I ever see you around here wearing no pants, you never working for me again, huh? That's it. That guy right there wears pants every single time. I never seen him doing that clown thing with the boxes on a Zoom call. Let's get out of here over here. That guy ain't gonna do that, huh? Every single time he shows up, the guy's got his nice cotton band on, huh? Hey, you gotta let them breathe over here. Hey. Shout out to everybody here. So, nice little move here. Swing to the upside. Looks like Bitcoin could go right to the 200 moving average on that one. And what you want to see now, did you break above the 30-second two, the 5-second two? And remember? And now we're on the 1-second chart. It's funny, we've talked about it yesterday. It's been a while. But the 1 second's now in an ascending triangle, starting its thing. It's touching the 21 above the 200. That should break out. You know, based off my years of experience, you should see a breakout on the 1 second. It should be able to get back to 95.2. Now, if you break the 200 and start to dump, then that's a different story. So let's see. Let's see what happens here. Again, I don't trade the 1 second. I do it like once, or I do it like 4 or 5 times a year, right? We've done it here on the channel, but it's not regular. I'm not regularly trading the 1 second chart. I just want to make that very clear. I'm just watching data. What I do know, though, the 1 second, the 5, the 5, and then to the 1 minute. It's all a movement from small time frames to big, from big to small. I've seen it so many times. So we knew that Bitcoin was going to have to make a move in the 1 minute soon, and it did. Not amazing? Based off technical analysis, we knew, like, not here, not there, but it was somewhere around here. We knew in the next 10 or 5 minutes when a move was going to happen, even. Can you look at silver on the 1 second? Ooh. If we are hit with an EMB, we all have a lot more to worry about than our Bitcoin, yeah. Whoever says that Sammy has no pants is a pantless person. Amen. I know you recently bought Pepe. Can we look at Pepe? Yeah. Okay, the pants is on. Yeah. Longs are magic. The bears are eating. Yeah. Can you look on the oh gosh. Can you increase your volume from wait that you're yeah. And I'm using you for my phone, and my volume is close to max. There you go. I got you louder there. I was lower, actually, than I usually am. Sorry about that. I should be so loud now that you can't take it anymore. Welcome to Goosebumps. Agreed. Volume is low. Is Sui a buy? So weird. You're amazing, Sam. Thank you for everything. Hey, God bless you, brother. Yeah. Can you increase your volume? And what else? Someone said something back here. Hold on. I thought I saw a super chat. Let me go to live chat. And let me go here to fan funding. All right, here we go. Giving my gratitude to you, Sam. You've helped me so much in raising my consciousness after the unfortunate loss of my grandparents. God bless you, Sam. I'm so sorry to hear that, man. May God bless you, and may you find solace and safety in the fact that God loves you, man. And that they're now, a part of your being inside forever, brother. 4-hour Bitcoin doesn't look bearish. Thank you. I agree. It looks like we might get a bounce here, man. I'm with you there, Submit Hardwani. We are with you, brother. I love you. Thank you. Good morning. I am looking for longs at 94 up to 104. You do the breathing exercises like Wim Hof, my friend. Put me on to him. Yeah. And we answered that already at the beginning when he asked, yeah. And now, I mean, you'd be like, well, remember the 1 minute is very, very small. So you can play with the 1 minute a lot. That doesn't mean that wasn't correct. It means, hey, that was the first trade. Now there could be another trade. Trend lines continue. Changing the pattern doesn't change anything. You're just seeing that there's a new trend line now. That has now closed, so that's created a new trend. This has come back to the first trend line, and now you know if you break this, you're likely going to dump. And then you're going to head lower. And then the 4-hour support does not hold. So today we have to find out if 4-hour support holds. That's it. It's that big of a deal at 94.4. And if we lose it, we know we're going to like 93.8, 93,000 and a little bit lower. And it is what it is, man. And that's kind of the facts. The facts of life. I'm always openly optimistic about life and the price of Bitcoin at 94,750 today. You know, anything is absolutely possible. But, you know, we'll take it one step, one day, one moment at a time. Let me see here. I'm going to get back into my weeks here and see, you know, it's getting close, but not signal time just yet. We do have some volume and some volatility today, I'll tell you that. And after a great week of, you know, we had CPI, PPI, everything came in great. Everything really did come in great. It was awesome. Like, it was just, wow. You know, it didn't, you know, it was, not every week is it like that. So we had an awesome bullishness. And I like to see that consumers are spending more money. I like to see that unemployment is down. I don't want to see people out of work. And I want to see the economy happy. I want to see people making money. I want to see people getting it in. Hey, I see everyone with energy, a good idea that never stops. I see them winning and making money. People that complain and blame the government, the situation, the rain, the weather, I don't see them doing too well. So it really comes down to like, it's just like, that's once you set your reality to believe that you're the one that's going to create it. And then if you're creating your reality, you're going to create a good one, right? Like if I'm set to create a home, say I was a home builder, you let me build my own house. I'm going to make a good home. It's mine, right? Of course. So why wouldn't you do the same for your life? People look at things practically that they would do simply, but they don't do it for themselves internally. It's like the mental battle inside is way harder than we realize. It's easier. Sometimes it's easier to do something for someone else than it is for yourself, right? Why is that? A lot of people treat other people better than they treat themselves. What is that all about? I did the same thing for years. Now, you know, I treat myself amazingly well because I didn't always. I was bad to myself, talked negatively to myself. I abused, you know, drugs and alcohol for myself. It wasn't good. And I got myself to a place where, you know, I found unhappiness too many times. You know, chemically, I couldn't get out of my own thought process, and you don't want to be there. That's tough. That's a hard pill to swallow. Literally, when you're popping pills, you know. But, you know, I needed that. But, yeah, that looks like a rising wedge is going to take daddy down. Looks like we may not hold that support. I don't know. This is going to be a tough one to call. This could be a tough one to call on a low volume Friday. I'll tell you that. And only time will tell. What are you guys doing? What trades are you guys in? What are you people up to? I'm sitting on my hands just waiting for better, you know. Crazy, put O2 mask on first so you can help others 100%. Today is the day the market recovers when Bitcoin dumps, but altcoins say sideways. Bullish news. We are created in the image of God. Loving yourself is the same as loving God. Amen. Sam, let's build a self-sufficient community. Solar, gardens, cattle. I really would love to. Email me, cryptolifers@gmail. Let's talk about it, man. No, seriously, I'm not even playing around. Earth ships the whole work. You know those rubber homes that face the southwest? Southeast or southwest? Yeah. Southwest. Sun sets in the west. Just close my sweet WorldCoin trades. That's awesome, man. We don't pump hill, we pump longs. Amen, right? I'm in a short after the golden pocket rejection. I'm in a long. I'm in on that short 92.8. Okay. Researching AG zone properties. Looks like pullback is fueled by uncertainty regarding Powell's replacement. Everything is dumping except for Momo and a big daily flag. You're funny. Momo, huh? I'm in a 10x long Doge. I'm 1 million long. Wow. Flip your chart upside down on the 1 minute semi. You think we're going to bounce? Yeah, it looks like the model. It looks like the model on the 1 minute. That says we're going to dump. But it also looks like a head and shoulder pattern that could, you know, shoulder, head, shoulder, right? I see mixed signals yet again whenever I'm really paying attention to this Friday market. Been doing the BTC poly market thing this week. Easier than trading. It pulls profit for you. That's awesome. You know, I heard a trader turn $12 into 100 grand on poly market. Pretty interesting, right? So everyone online is a bear. Seems bullish to me. Okay. You know, I keep seeing that there's a bigger. I keep buying. I'm long-term bullish, and I keep buying spot Bitcoin. So that's all I can keep showing you guys. You know, like these dips are made for buying, man. These shoes are made for walking, right? It's like And again, I'll do it again like I do all the time. And just put my money where my mouth is, right? And that's going to be another, and every time it's, another 25, right? It just, look at that, 95.8, 94.8. And so we buy some more. Like Busta Rhymes says, give me some more. That's what I talk about Bitcoin, baby. Give me some more, baby.
I want it. I eat Satoshis for breakfast. Give them to me, baby, give them.
I eat silver bars for breakfast. Don't do it. That hurt. Oh no, I just chipped my, oh my God. Oh God, I just, oh no. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh God, no. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And my wife? No way. This is horrible. No. I can't, oh my, you're not gonna believe what you're gonna see here. Oh my God. I found an Apple iPod in my mouth. The hell's going on? I'm just playing around, man. I wouldn't hurt myself on the show. I look absolutely ridiculously dumb. Like, I was born at night, but not last night, for crying out loud. Ah, man, you gotta love the show. Shout out to everybody here, man. We love you. Bitcoin getting the bounce. Starting to show like it says, no way. I want to get off the lows. 4 hours saying that it is, yeah. So let's get to that 4 hour time frame. Let's see what's going down. And this is what we're looking for. We're looking for this flag to get busy, baby. That's a Sammy Cup in handy. We could get to 100. Like, what if, man? What if everything changes? What if the whole story goes different? And what if we bounce back like a phoenix? What if in 5 hours, 10 hours from now, we're up here at 100,000? What if everything goes berserk? And there's hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour time frame. You know what I'm saying? I'll wait for this candle to close, and I would long, if this 4 hour candle closes green, you kind of have to front run it now because it's heavy. Kind of have to front run it right now, to be honest, like for the best positional strength. But you got to do whatever makes you happy. For me, it's kind of a front run. Like, this is the trade. You wait, you got to get in, but again, this candle could just turn red and dump on you. That's the thing. I don't like it. So you got to wait for the 4 hour candle to close. If it closes green, then you take the tweezer bottom with the stop below the wick, or actually, I would take the stop below here, yeah. I'd even try to get there if I could. Yeah, why not? Put your stop. Be a little further than everybody else. Be less greedy than everyone else, right? So, see, the further your stop, the more you're willing to lose. And most people don't want to lose. They can't handle that. So that's why I don't get stopped out as much as other people, because I put a stop a little further away than everyone else can handle. They want to make 100x and they're also trading higher leverage than me. If you trade higher leverage than me, your liquidation is close to the stop, so you can't even put a stop there. You can't, So if you trade higher leverage than me, you can't trade my trades. You can't do it. If I'm trading 47x and you're at 100, you can't put your stop loss where I can. You're not allowed, So what will happen is you'll get stopped out and I'll make 10 grand. You know what I mean? I might make, again, I might get stopped out and you make the money actually. I'm not always right, as was shown by yesterday and my follies. So it is, But man, anything is possible. One step, one day, one moment at a time. Never panic sell. Let the trade play out. Set and forget it and let the trade play out. Don't force it. Okay? It's important not to force it. And important, I may let you guys out a little early today. Who wants to get out? No one does, right? Watch this. Watch how much they love me, right? Who wants to get out a little early from class today? Nobody like Sammy Cup and Handy. I mean, we got this, man. We just got to stay poised, right, and ready. We might be the only ones to see the market correctly today out of the whole market. Who knows? I even see a cup and handle in the RSI. I'm telling you right now, that's interesting. I even see a cup and handle here on the RSI, which tells me it's about to go berserko. Then there's going to be a bear div on the 4 hour. That's when you're going to short the market. Not now yet. No. When you see the real bearish divvy there. But you never know. I could be tooting my own bullish horn here, getting a little crazy. Crazy, baby. 94,900 for Bitcoin. Absolutely going to the 200 moving average. And look, it looks like the 5 second did play out, right? Where were we on that 5 second chart? There she goes. And look, now the 5 seconds in the model. Right? It's got this beautiful little flag that wants to break out. It's got a measured move. It's on the 21 above the 200. I'm telling you now, eh, Jack? That's Australian accent, eh? All the way from down under, eh? Kangaroos and coconuts, huh? Do you guys have coconuts in Australia? I think so. I never knew, though. Kangaroos and koalas, eh? Welcome to Australia. No, but my uncle lives in Australia. Yeah, he lives there. He's been there a long time. My buddy, man. Jack. Haven't talked to him in a long time. Should probably call and ask to speak to my uncle one day, bro. I don't think he's ever called me. I think I spoke to him once when I was like 9 or 10 years old. My mom's brother. And he outlived his sisters too. For whatever reason, you know. My mom lost one of her sisters at like 56, 58. She died of cancer back in the 90s. It was really tough seeing my mom lose her sister. It was tough. And she was the best. We called her Aunt Star. Aunt Star. That was her, you know, Star was a nickname for another name. I don't want to say it because it's personal. But, you know, so Aunt Star. Aunt Star, man. I always went over to Aunt Star's house. Aunt Star. And she loved me, man. She was so nice. Oh, man. She must have died. Yeah, she died when I was 14 after a 5-year battle on and off with all different cancers. She was bald, the whole thing. I saw it. It was horrible. And my grandma and grandpa died. So her husband died actually first, Jack, my uncle. He was cool too. He was quiet. He smoked cigarettes like you read about. He died at 58. He got lung cancer and was gone in like a year and a half. Funny, she had cancer, beat it, had cancer again. Her second bout, she was going through it. He got diagnosed and it took her 5 years. He was dead in he got diagnosed and died in 5-6 months, you know. So my uncle died, and then, you know, about a year or two later, or maybe 6 months later, 7 months later, my aunt did die. I think it was actually 14 months. And then my grandma and grandpa would die. So my mom saw, like, her aunt's husband, her sister's husband, her sister's husband, her sister, my aunt. And then her grandma, and then her father and mother died. All in the course of, like, I'd say a 2.5 year period. It was crazy. And my mom went through a lot, man. I saw her really sad. I went through a lot. I got depressed. At the same time, 2 of my friends died. Yeah, I know you don't believe it. It's a true story. The first kid I ever became good friends with, you become good friends, you have a sleepover. That's a big deal. And I had a summer house, and I would invite one of my good friends to my summer house. And I invited him. The parents said yes. It was all put together. They met. And there we were playing war in the back of my dad's 1983 Chevy van, sport van, right? War, if you ever played the game of War, it's just simple. Flip a card. If your card's bigger, you take it. It's just, we played War for like 3 hours, in the back of that car, whatever. No seatbelts, just in the back of the van, you know what I mean? Just old school, it must have been, I'd say I was 11. So, somewhere in 1984, something like that. 1994, sorry. I'm not that old. And he would get hit by a car. This kid, Andy, my buddy Andy. Andy Cucciara was his name. And you could look this up. It might still be there somewhere. Andy Cucciara, Cucchiara. He got hit by a car, turned into a vegetable, sat there for a few weeks. They pulled the plug. I lost my best friend when I was 12, man. I was devastated. I cried myself to sleep, and I didn't understand. We went to his wake, and you couldn't see his face because he was mangled, so they didn't, it was a closed casket. And there was pictures of us, and wow, man, it was some heavy stuff for me. And again, I'm telling you, my aunt and uncle, everyone was dying. So then I meet this kid that lived in the same town as him because his grandparents lived across the street from me, and we started hanging out. And they both lived in the same town in Massachusetts. A year and a half later, this kid dies, playing with equipment. His dad had a big company called Tedesca. Tedesca was probably still out there. Tedesca, Tedesca Construction. They might have sold it, but they were big when I was a kid. Tedesca. Albert J. Tedesca's son, right? That was my buddy, man. Albert J. Tedesca and Sons, right? My buddy, my buddy Albert died, man. Albert Tedesca, death, oh, wow. Albert J., founder and owner of Sun in West Roxbury, died on May 10, 2010 after a near-long battle with pancreatic. Oh, that was his dad right there. Oh, wow. Yeah. Contracting in West Roxbury, yeah. His son, a 13-year-old boy, died. Here is my life, man. It's my friend. I hadn't thought about this in a long time. Sorry, guys. His son, Albert J. Tedesca, a 13-year-old boy, tragic. He was my second friend of my life. And my second friend, he got onto this machine, and the machine rolled him over. When he was 13. He was crushed by a street sweeper that rolled out of control while he was visiting the site. The incident was ruled an accident by the district attorney's office, man. It was, oh my God. I never really actually read the whole thing. I didn't know. Oh my God. He jumped into a thing and started playing with it. It started moving. He got scared. He jumped out. And I think it, this kid was a good kid, man. I knew him, man. So that was the second friend I ever had. 2 of them died. And I got obsessed with death throughout my life, man. And it was hard. I think that was part of my struggle through, through my 20s, because I was just like, by the time I was 28, I thought I was like 80 years old, man. I had thought so much in my mind about death and life, and it's like all the thinking I had done made me feel old, Like I just contemplated so much. And wow, man, what a crazy life we all live, right? Like no one is out of this pain. No one gets away from this crazy stuff that we all go through. Like none of us. Nobody here will escape it. Like I just went through it different times, and you will. We'll all go through it at different times. Like this is the life, man, that we all live. It's unbelievable, really. It's quite amazing. Yeah. It's funny, man. Yeah. I like the show, but can we never go on an episode without talking about that? I know, right? It's sad, man. It's facts. God bless their souls together without being infinite, unconditional. Yeah. Yeah, no, heartbreaking, man. My first cousin, who I was close to, died 22 years ago. His little brother just got out of him by his father 5 days ago. Wow, man, that's so sad. My condolences for your losses. Yeah, it was a long time ago, man. I appreciate everybody. Let's get back into the talk. Let's get back into the charts. It's a 2-hour show. We might talk about life for maybe 10 or 20, and we talk about charts like an hour and a half of it. So, are there any altcoins worth looking at that are holding up well against Bitcoin? That's kind of what you want to start asking yourself, right? So here's the deal with today. We don't really need to look at Bitcoin again. If the 4-hour candle does not close green and loses this level, we're dumping right down to 92,193. We're going to liquidate a bunch of people that went long late on this big pump. And that's likely what does happen many times. If not, we close this candle green, we get a chance for the bulls to jump on in. There creates enough pressure that pushes the short squeeze to the upside, and this hidden bullish divergence does prevail, and Bitcoin at least comes back and then tries to head back to $100,000 to $102,000. So, hey, there is some likelihood for a move here, but it all depends in the next 3 hours and 27 minutes, and it depends on how this 4-hour candle closes. So that's kind of how I view the market today. And I'm not saying long right here. I'm saying that would have to close for me to take this long. So I don't want people to look at this and say, hey, he's long. No. Is that when you just don't be obsessed with it? Nobody knows the future. Play the charts. Good times. Have fun. That's it. And don't get lonely. Amen. It is what it is. Yeah, no, I don't get obsessed with it. I don't. USDC is holding pretty good against Bitcoin. You're funny, man. That's a funny guy. So let's take a look at what's happening to Dash as we sit at 94,700 for Bitcoin. On the door, wow, Dash went pretty fast to 96, right? So Dash goes from 37 back up to 96, does a 3x and or 2.5x, pretty dang fast. Double bottoms off the low. And again, very oversold on the weekly time frame, which suggests it would get a move. That's a monster move. And it's funny how they just keep kind of pumping and dumping these privacy coins. I mean, that was a pump and dump last time. It's a pretty drastic move out of, this time too as well. If I was going to play Dash, you want to see it. It's kind of like what Bitcoin's doing, though. Bitcoin holds this 4 hour, then it's going to open the door for a big pump this weekend. I think you might get an alt pump. Remember we used to get alts pumping on the weekend, and we get these weekend rallies. It's how it's supposed to be, when things kind of get back into action, you get these altcoin weekend rallies because the stock market's closed, but there's action, and everybody knows it, and it draws all the humans around the world, man, and the weekend becomes fun. So, I got a look on Dash. It looks interesting. And remember, I could see them also possibly stop hunt this puppy. So you might see one of these, like a little dip before the rip. And it is getting a little high. There's some bear div there. Look at your bigger time frames. If you get no tweezer top yet, look at your 12 hour. If you get a red candle next to a green one, I would consider possibly shorting back to the 21 on Dash. Okay? But there's a chance the smaller time frames do create continuation patterns. So watch your 1 hour and your 4. But double check those bigger time frames, 8 hour, 12 hour for a tweezer top. Crypto Billy, I understand that Billy is just what it was. We cannot change it. I give my condolences, but what else? Is it what it is? Be careful. Sadie Verse, do what you can. Yeah. You're funny. Because of these incidents, this has shaped you as a motivator for others. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. So pissed I sold Dash as soon as it broke even. So Secret is on the radar. Cancer is a parasite infection. It may be. I have people using febendazole. And yeah. Lost my father last year. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Linnea and Canton might be two good winners. Yeah. I like Canton CC. Let's take a look at CCC USDT. Because it was on the run-up before Bitcoin got hot. And then it kind of started to fall off a little bit. Funny, when I saw it here, it did pump. From 10 cents all the way up to 17. Nice little gainer there. So there's opportunity in these altcoins. This was actually at 7 cents and it went all the way to 17. That ain't bad. Kind of like a double toppy lower low there. Doesn't look amazing. Kind of descending triangle vibes. Let's look at the daily. So bigger time frame. Daily doesn't have a lot on it. I don't like what I'm seeing for Canton CC personally. Just right now. Maybe it's, it's going to do something different. But there I see, I feel like it already breached. If anything, it looks like it's coming down to the descending. I don't know. It just doesn't, Maybe it wicks back up and we can put it in something better than this. But that's a little weird. It is on the 21. It is oversold. Like it's not extended. Hey, I guess maybe it breaks out of a descending triangle to the upside. Maybe it becomes more of a wedge and we do make a lower low. Like we come down and test this and then we break out of it. And it's like a kind of a cup and handle kind of vibe. That makes most sense because it looks bullish based on the moving averages. But the price action doesn't show like on a pattern that I recognize as a breakout pattern. A pattern that's going to continue to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised though you end up at somewhere 24, 23 cents on Canton CC. High risk though, just really high risk with what Bitcoin's doing and where we're at. 94.8. As long as Bitcoin keeps doing what it's doing, we're going to be in good shape for the rest of the day. Okay? Let's take a look at the super chats people are sending in. And I don't want to miss anything anyone's saying. All right, let's break it down. Wagon, he says, give my gratitude to you, Sam. You have helped me so much in raising my consciousness after the unfortunate loss of my grandparents. God bless you. Thank you. 4-hour Bitcoin doesn't look bearish. Thank you, Submit Hardwani. And we agreed with you there, too, and we've been kind of showing that. And then the breathing. Okay, so it's the same stuff. Nothing new here on the show. No new. Oh, hey, Lifer, have you heard of DRB token? Yes, it's already been given to the group. I actually looked at it, researched it, and to me, because it was made by Grok, because I thought it might do good. And so we talked about it. And I did give it to the trading group DRB. It was inside of a massive double bottom. And this was on 114, right? Today's 116. So you can see 114 at 1235. Actually, no, I gave it before that. Let's keep going. Yeah, here's when I first really talk about it. And I tell you what it is. I tell you how it got made. I asked actually Grok what it was, and Grok told me. You see, and then I gave you that information. And, yeah. That's DRB, yeah. Here's more, Sam. LOL. Hey, God bless you, man. You didn't have to do that, but you did. Shout out to Wagon. You're funny, man. Hey, man, if you give in abundance, you get back in abundance. Anytime there's a chance to give, throw it out there. Because it's never not come back to me. Giving has never not worked for me. Never. There's never been a time I gave and I regretted, oh man, I shouldn't have given that. Within a week, within a day, within being nice, something huge happens to me. Every single time I continue to reward others, God rewards me, man. Every single time. He tells me not to stress. He tells me not to worry. He tells me to just keep going forward, do my biddings, and life will be great. And so I'm excited for this life. I'm happy to see what could happen. I'm interested in all these different ways to make money. Poly Market now has prediction markets. There's so much stuff going on. And there's a lot to think about. Let's look at Crypto Rank and take a look at what cryptos people are kind of playing with and looking at right now. And see if there's anything that's hot to trot that we don't know about. It might be something new coming down the pike as well. So you can see what's cracking. Let's take a look. It's been too long. It's been too long, man. And is this because I got Brave? What are you doing? Maybe I got shields on. So weird. Not loading for whatever reason, right? Can you look at FIRO? I'll use another, whenever that happens, I just try another browser, just in case. All right. I think it should load, but maybe they're down today. They don't. Interesting. They're not working no more. They stopped. Huh. Let's look at coin market cap for a second. We'll look at that. Maybe sometimes they're just down for a day. Can you look at FIRO? We'll look at FIRO. Yeah. Okay, in 24 hours, Dash is the big winner. Story IP also getting some gains in the week, but Dash up 140% on the week. Really just running into those privacy coins. I told you it's a little extended now, though. I like Bitcoin Cash. We've been talking about it for a long time. We looked at it at 440. It's boring. It doesn't move huge, but it just consistently holds its level and looks like it's going to go up for more over time. So, hey, whatever it is, what it is there, Bitcoin Cash. Nothing else too crazy, though, right? On the bigger scale, you got Humanity Protocol. Let's see what happened in the last 7 days. What's up the most? Okay, you got pumped up on Chiliz. We did talk about Chiliz. They had a roadmap out there for 2029. And not many people have been talking about the future. I think that enough was a buzz. And then they also just, they got a good team. They've been around a long time. So that created some buzz too. MyX Finance, Morpho, Bitkit Token, PancakeSwap holding $2. Every time I see that, it gives me bullishness for the altcoins. Because that tells me we have a springboard for possibilities. And it's big. And I like BNB too. We looked at it yesterday. BNB to me and Bitcoin Cash similar. Chainlink also looking quite interesting. Solana looking interesting on the bigger time frames. I went over all this yesterday and we've talked about it in the trading group. Let's take a look at Aster real quick. And now Bitcoin doing damage. I mean, cup and handling itself back to 95,000. Imagine the panic sellers on a low volume Friday. My goodness. And it got close to the wire, man. My goodness. Let's take a look at FIRO to see what's happening. And remember, you're watching that 4 hour. Stay calm. Stay complete. You're just waiting for a 4 hour candle to close. Okay. So let's take a look at this. It did, like I just did that Fibonacci retracement, but we'll do it again there. And you can see this came back to the 886 Fibonacci retracement, got back above the 200 moving average. And then it's just like, wow, right? Above this previous resistance, hanging above the 200, waiting for the 21 to touch and come into play here for Bitcoin. So again, if I was into this, I'd wait for this 21 to get above the 200, but let's take a look at the 1 hour. Let's see what's happening. I mean, it made this crazy flag. Like those candles were a bit strange, no? But hey, it's TA nonetheless. It's the 21 above the 200. It did get the pump. And you say, hey, does it do it again? A little strange with price action. I don't know if it's decentralized, on this exchange specifically. But hey, there's some movement here for FIRO. And it's just getting back into its groove, right? That's a little odd for me. It's a way for the 21 on the 8 hour. 4 hour too. I'd flag it out. There's a chance that other flag plays out. But hey, I'd play a more cautious game with a coin like this and wait for the 4 hour to come to the 21. But that's me. Take the Lambo around the block. You're so funny, man. Shout out to Marcus, man. Thank you. God bless you, brother. Now I'm hit the range, man. This afternoon, I'm hit the range, man. I got a couple new toys I got to play with over here. You know what I'm saying? And my Cadillac died. I left the hazard lights on for some reason 2 days ago. Once I could pick up my laundry, put the hazard lights on. Oh no, pick up propane tanks. It was Saturday. I had someone coming over, put the hazard lights on, put up some propane tanks, left them on all day. And when I came out, my Cadillac was dead. Never happened to me. So I have it charging right now, trickle charging. I ran them like right in the beginning of the morning today. And it should start, but we'll see. Should start. Something like that on the 4-hour. You come to the 21 and then you move to 323. All right. Shout out to Marcus, man. I love you. Thank you. Very nice of you not to be jealous and to mention the Lambo and give me a super chat. You're an awesome person. Like, that means you're full of abundance. I only be around people that are full of abundance, have a good attitude, and keep themselves moving every day. Like, that's my people. That's my goal. That's the dream. And we're doing it. We're really surrounded by a good group of people every day here. I really appreciate it. So, thank you. Thank you. All right. And I'm going to let you guys go early today. I got to do my macro technical analysis video. I'd like to get it done by 12, which is going to be tight. And I have some other things I may have to attend to as well. See if my car actually starts. I'll have to take my wife's Santa Fe, which isn't a bad car. It's not bad. You know what I mean? It just, hey, I'd rather be in my Escalado, right? In the Escalado, bottle. So anyway, I love you. Stay focused. Pay attention. I'm going to be more alt-focused. I know I keep saying that, but I will be. Because there's going to be a time where altcoins are going to start pumping and looking better. Bitcoin looks like it's recovering. The 4-hour looks really nice. As I said, you know, where is that? Where do we put that? Recovering off the bounce, right? And remember, that's why I'm not in a trade, right? I've said that. And, right, if this 4-hour candle closes, we're looking for a bounce, at least back to 97.4. And then we're in some money, you know, so we'll see. We will see. Love the TA, Sammy. God bless you, man. Shout out to everybody here. Thank you so much for coming. What website do you use to look for new coins about to launch? What's the website you were trying to connect to? CryptoRank.io. Yeah, I don't know why it wasn't working right now. CryptoRank.io. Oh, hold on one second. It's working. I got it. It should be working. It just, remember, it wouldn't load for me a second ago. Hold on. Here we go. Super slow though right now. Something's up with it. There it is. It's here. It's back. Let's look at trending cryptos. Just real quick. Then you got recently listed, all categories, blockchains. This one does really well. And it tracks a lot of coins. If it's not like doing what it used to. Remember, it would give me my list. It would show me what's happening. Maybe they're like unlock sidebar. I like the token unlocks too. It's important, right? Interesting. Maybe they changed the way this. I don't know what's going on. It's not the same as it used to be. All coins list. Great. All right. Trending. It looks like they changed the way they did this. All right. Not the same as it used to be. Did a really good job of like seeing all this new information. It was really good. I loved it. It said trending, what people, you know, what it said most visited sites. You know, it was really awesome. Maybe they're verified. The data wasn't verified. You know, yeah, trending cryptos, trending coins and cryptos, recently listed, all categories. Let's see if it loads now. Yeah, I don't have a VPN on. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, sometimes sites just need a second to load. It could be my computer. You never know, man. You never know. 94.9 for Bitcoin. You know. Dang, man. I got to have the number one in the chat, Marcus. Don't do that to me. I love this guy. And then he throws $100 Canadian. Dude, you just bought some ammo for me at the range, man. You're the man, dude. Some targets and some ammo. God bless you, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You'll make me a better marksman. May God bless you. That's nice of you. So look here. I mean, I guess I'll filter out my own and look at it. I don't know what's happening. Eric, it's going to load eventually. Their site was doing something. It'll be back up in a few hours, and we'll look at it. 4 hour looks promising. So everyone, get your thinking caps on. It's not going to be that easy. All right? But see what we did today? See how we fought through? Looked like a short show, looked okay. And I said, hey, it's a descender, but see how I look at things in different perspectives? He says, I caught up, Wagon. Man, you guys are funny, man. Look at this guy. He's like, no. You're not going to outdo me this time, buddy. I'm the real lifer over here. This is a super chat war over Sammy's turf. You guys are too good to me, man. You're really too good to me. Unbelievable, really, when you think about it. Like, thank you so much. May God bless you both. Like, I don't know. I'm speechless right now. I honestly am. Doesn't matter how much money I'll ever make, man. Someone that gives their money, I just can't believe it. Well, it will come back to you both a tenfold. I'm telling you right now. I know it for a fact in my life. Specifically, too, because you gave it good energy, good vibes, man. That vibe is going to circulate. Thank you so much, everyone. That's super nice of you. You both didn't have to do that, but you did. Unbelievable. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. Okay, I'll make you no more death talk, all right? For the next week, we're just all life, love, and happiness, all right? But, it's just sometimes how it is. It's just sometimes how it is. One just squeaked in there. SHX, I can't deny it. Let's take a look at SHX. Stronghold on Mex Say. Wow, coming back into the mix. That actually looks very bullish. And looks like it's about to break out. I think you're onto something, man. And if Bitcoin breaks out, this is going to break out. I think you just picked a winner for the day, dude. So I'm happy we actually did your super chat and kept you in the mix. And again, I'm not looking at any the bigger time frames, which I should, but that just looks like it's going to do some damage. I love, but be careful. Because there's been low volume, they've been stop hunting before the rips recently. This area has been treachery. You may have to go down here. Just be careful. That's all I got to say. I'm not a soothsayer, but that looks good to me. I wouldn't be surprised if it is in just a few days from now at 15 cents. That was a good project, and I liked it, right? It's not over till it's over. This guy's hilarious, man. Now I got to stay in case. They're not letting me leave. The other thing they're doing is they're not letting me leave, which is kind of cool because, I, of course, have to stay to see if the other guy's going to one-up the other guy. I got to give him a chance, right? And with that, let's hook someone up. Anyone want to be in the group for, anyone really want to be in the trading group? Thought about it, really want to do it. Haven't had the time or haven't had the money or just, they're in a place where it doesn't work. Let me know. Let me know. Pick a number between 1 and 10. Write a number, man. And I'm just going to pick some random person. And we'll put you in the group for the year. Not for the year. For the month. Right? Which is a $99 value. And I think it's worth more than that, honestly. Or just write a reason why you really want to be in the group, too. Just say, hey, this is me, I'd like, Roll over double bottom. Touche. He did it. I knew he was going to do it. Man. You guys, this is funny, bro. I've never seen this. I don't think this has ever happened, on stream, not like this. We've had some super chat war, maybe a couple. No, but Michael Pa usually just comes in. Remember Michael Pa with the $500? Boom, Sammy, keep going, right? Everyone's like, we all knew you would pick 7, right? I'm gonna pick anything I see. Yeah, I lost 40,000. I really want to get back. I haven't been able because my mistake. Damn, that's Teddy Bear, man. No. Teddy Bear, I love you, man. You've been with us for a long time. Didn't you? You've been on my house, man. Would love to see it. Crypto Billy, man. No way. This guy. Yeah. It's ridiculous. He had to save 100 for someone else because, 500 daily. He's the man. God bless you, man. Because you got to spread the love, man. You're super awesome, man. You guys are crazy now. Now you guys just bought all the ammo. I'm going to shoot it all today. I'm going to shoot $400 worth of freaking bullets today, man. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to let it all out. Yeah, this is crazy, man. Would you really help with my life? I'm doing good, but I would love to expand my knowledge. Amen. Yeah. Little digital bullets. I would definitely benefit from the trading group and with your insight. All right, we'll put you in, brother. Crypto Seeking 5577. Email us from this email. Email cryptolifers@gmail. From this email here that I'm going to show on screen, which I hope you're okay with. But, from this @ symbol here. @Crypto Street King. Send us an email from here. Let us know. And, yeah, man. Sam's guidance, life advice, admission is worth more than these super chats. Hey, God bless you, man. What a legend, man. Hello from Boston. God bless you, bro. And with that being said, I guess I'm going to leave it almost my regular scheduled time. You just shut it down. Only Michael Pock can go toe-to-toe with you, bro. I know, man. Crypto Billy, man, just said, no. Just going to let it out there, man. Shout out to all the fan funding today. You people are absolutely ridiculous. $721 in fan funding. That's insane. I go live every single day. 30 days, what if you guys gave $700 a day? This is just crazy when you think about it, right? Times 30 days, right? That would be $21,000 a month. It's just nuts. We know you, Sammy. We'll all pay it forward. New year, new write-offs needed, man. God bless you, man. I love you so much. Love the education. Last month of the 9, just couldn't make the payment this month. Hey, it's okay. You'll get there, man. Unfortunately, YouTube takes half. It doesn't take half. It takes a little bit. Yeah. Now Lifer can take us all around the block for a lap. You're funny. I want to be in a group. Got my car burnt down while living in it. Got another car. Got power hooked up. Just need to replace my laptop. Dang, man. You live in your car? True story? All right. But you need a laptop, man. All right. We hook you up too, man. All right. I'll hook you up too. I hope you're not lying to me about this story. It sounds ridiculous, but I think you're telling the truth. Email me from this place at Crypto Lifers. It might take a couple days. My wife's, doing stuff. But she will get to it. We'll get you in. Everything will make sense. You got to have a Discord. All right? So there you go. God bless you guys. God bless everybody here on the stream. This was ridiculous. And I learned a 130K lesson. I'm still learning. Still positive. Altitude depicts your attitude. Hey, man, I'm sorry to hear that. It can hurt, man. These markets will spank you. When you think you're going for the gusto, these markets can spank you. Be careful. One step, one moment, one day at a time, folks. It's not easy. All right? Everyone, I love you. I appreciate you. Jump on in to the Discord, cryptolifer.com. Find out more. I'm there all day. And it's Friday. Give yourself a break. Don't overtrade. It's low volume. Let's see if this 4-hour candle closes. And we go from there. I love you. Be safe. Focus on the bigger time frames. Don't say it's dumping on the little ones. Just focus on the bigger time frames. Take a deep breath. One step at a time. The high was 94.9. We're at 9,760. It's $140. We'll be all right. Everyone, I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you so much for coming to the greatest live stream of the game. I'm super excited to be with you. We bought Bitcoin today on the live stream. Remember that too. I think you forgot we bought 2,500 BTC. Not 20, but USD. But, we did it. I love you. You can, you will, you are the best. Speak positively to yourself every chance you get. Make it happen because that's all. You're the only person that can. And remember, I know the secret to success. You know what it is? It's getting started. You're not going to be great to start, but you got to be great. You got to start to be great, right? I mean, every single great person started somewhere, man. Everyone you know, every history book, every person you've ever read about, every movie you ever watched. And shout out to Marcus. Shout out to Wagon. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Wow, big super chats coming in today. And guys, let that be, just an inspiration to you. May God bless you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the flip side.